Thanks for tuning in. I'm your host, Bianca Cotton, and this is Behind the Confident Smile. On this episode, we're diving into the powerful intersection of play and mindfulness for women. We'll explore how reconnecting with joy and cultivating mindfulness can offer healing, empowerment, and resilience. Research shows that incorporating play and joy into daily life can significantly enhance overall well-being. Studies have highlighted how playfulness helps to reduce stress, promote creativity, and improve mood across ages. Adults who frequently engage in playful activities, whether through sports, social games, or creative outlets, report higher life satisfaction and a more resilient sense of joy. Welcome, Kimberly Mhoon.
Hey.
To talk about play. Let's play. And mindfulness and joy and all the things that help us to be vivacious.
Yeah, vibrant and vivacious.
Yes. So, first of all, let's go back to childhood. Your earliest memory of play. What is that?
Ooh. My earliest memory of play. I would have to say, I have a few, but one that really stands out to me was a caboodle that I had. And it had all of these different little compartments, and I would put all of my little nails in there, fake nails, and all of my nail polish, and it felt like such a ritual for me to like be designing these nails, playing with my baby doll's hair, you know, being creative, doing different styles. Double Dutch was another one that I absolutely loved. Oh my gosh, this is as I got a little bit older, but I loved looking at Aaliyah videos and studying the choreography. So pressing the rewind button, like, what was that? Let me get that move. So these are not my earliest memories, but these are some of my fondest memories of play and how they involved movement and ritual and learning. Like, I noticed that learning is such an important part of play for me. And that's why the Aaliyah videos, especially, I was like, oh, yeah, I used to do that. And I used to absolutely love it. Just studying the videos. Yeah.
So now let's fast forward a little bit, because we know you were a childhood dancer.
Yeah.
You started dancing at what age?
At 3 years old. Yeah. So very young.
You were dancing at the age of 3. And when you think about your journey through dance from childhood to teenagehood, was play still a part of that, or over time did your sense of wonder with play start to dissipate?
Wow, you mentioned the tissue. Look.
Oh my gosh! Just saying.
Oh gosh. Wow, absolutely. I can remember, not as a 3-year-old, but we were in a children's dance company, West African dance company called Ailey. And I was in it from maybe like ages 3 to 6 or 7. And it just felt so free. Like, I never remember being nervous on stage. It was all about fun and expression. And we were with other kids. It was just like a celebration on stage. As I grew older, it became more and more serious, especially as I transitioned techniques from West African, which is, it's joyful, it is vibrant, to studying ballet and these really linear techniques that naturally feel more serious. The fun, it was stripping away bit by bit, and it became about, I have to be good, I got to be good at this. It was result oriented. If I'm going to dance when I get older, I got to know how to do this technique, and my leg got to go this high, my foot got to point like this, I got to weigh this much. Where's the fun in all of that? Where's the fun in all of that? So that's just such a beautiful question, because I'm sure we'll get to this, but I remember that being a prayer for myself a few years ago was, I just want dance to be fun again. I want it to be fun. Like, this is how my higher power expresses itself through me. I want it to be fun. Yeah.
It goes from fun to technical to serious to, and at what point did you say, or did you ever say, I don't want to dance anymore because it's not fun for me anymore?
Right before the pandemic hit, I was like, I just felt like I was hitting a wall. It wasn't fulfilling. I was burnt out living in New York, auditioning, teaching fitness classes, working in hospitality. And for me, the ultimate goal, the ultimate marker of success was, am I on Broadway, or did I book the tour with Beyonce? That was the only, for me, sense of satisfaction. And I'm so glad that I was hitting that wall, because I felt like my higher power was trying to let me know, this is not, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Like, this is not, I didn't give you this gift so that you could get validation from it. I gave this gift to you to share it with people and help people. And that just wasn't clicking for me. Yeah, and it just wasn't fun. I was burnt out. I was tired. I was like, I'm tired of working, waking up 6 a.m., going to the audition, teaching fitness classes, going to work at a restaurant, doing it all over again. It wasn't sustainable. So yeah.
Hustling for the dream.
Hustling for the dream.
And how long were you living in New York?
11 years.
Ooh, so you had been moving.
I had been
11 years.
It felt like a tape was playing. My life was a tape, and it was like on forward, or like I was on a treadmill and the setting was too high and I couldn't keep up. That's how life felt. Like, it was just moving so fast. Yeah.
Wow. So before the pandemic, you was like,
I said, I don't think this is for me.
It's time for a change. So what happened when the pandemic hit for you to say, okay, now all is at a standstill. What do I do now?
What do I do now? Well, I had the beautiful gift of everything being stripped away. I could not audition. It was not available. I could not work. I worked at a concert hall as a server. I couldn't do that. My version of play and fun back then was going to bars and drinking. That wasn't available. So everything had been stripped away, and all I had was time to be like, okay, what do I do now? What is, it was really like, who am I without dance? That was like so wrapped up in my identity. I'm the dancer. I live in New York. I'm creative. Who am I without all of that stuff? So it was a beautiful time for reflection. And I also, during that time, joined a 12-step program that was teaching me about money and time and energy, and helping me to reimagine my career and like, what's my vision for myself? Like, why am I hitting these walls? What's happening? So I'm so glad that everything was stripped away from me in that way. It was at the time, I thought I was, like, what's next? Like, I was in that space of uncertainty.
Yeah.
And that's a scary place to be, but it was such a beautiful gift to slow down and see, like, where am I going? Like, why am I doing all of this? Discovering the why.
Right.
Yeah.
And reconnecting to your original purpose.
Yeah.
It sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Which is what we're talking about today, like ushering in mindfulness and play for adults, not just for children, right? For children, they gonna play, okay?
They got it down. I mean, they gonna play.
we are talking about how do we help women, and you specifically focus on BIPOC folks to reconnect with their inner child, reconnect with play. But first, it sounds like you had to reconnect with your inner child and reconnect with what play means for you after hustling for so many years.
Yep. Yes.
So you doing this 12-step program around money and how you spend your energy and your time. What was born from that?
So I remember being in one of the sessions and we were collectively reading a book called The Artist's Way. And she mentioned taking ourselves out on an artist date, which is a solo expedition where you just go and explore something that interests you. And I heard fellows talking about just going to the beach one day or walking around town, taking photos, like just simple things. And it was like a light bulb went off for me. Like, I can just take time and take myself out. Like, everything I do doesn't have to be connected to making money. A light bulb went off. I was like, it almost felt, I was afraid. I remember, like, I always wanted to take a pottery class. And I went and took that pottery class and it felt so indulgent. Like, I'm spending money on this pottery class. Like, this should be on a dance class, or like, it should be on something that is results oriented, not on just something for fun. So that was huge for me, was seeing other people invest time in just doing something simply for the fun of it, like nothing else. I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing it to spark curiosity, to explore, and that was amazing to me. What else was born out of my journey of play? I will say along my journey, just noticing destructive behaviors, leaning on alcohol as a way to induce pleasure or other things. And so, I said, I have to learn how to find pleasure. Like, I stopped drinking, and after I stopped drinking, I went to a bar with two friends, and everybody was standing around like zombies. Nobody was dancing. Nobody was connecting with one another. And I was like, this is not fun. I was like, this ain't fun. I don't want to do this. And so another light bulb went like, oh, I have to continue to explore, like, what is fun for me? Like, what makes me happy?
Yeah.
I'm Ricky Watson, and I'm inviting you to join me for the new CAN TV original program, Critical Conversations. Each month, I'll share space with special guests who, like you and me, are on their journey of self-discovery and deeper understanding. Join the conversation on CAN TV, cable channel 19, or stream live on cantv.org or on the CAN TV Plus app. Elevated conversation and storytelling. Experience the power of community television.
So, which is a good question, right? Especially for women who have layered responsibilities, right? It could be a demanding career. It could be being a caregiver for aging parents. It could, the list.
All the layers.
It could be managing health challenges while just trying to live a life. what does play look like for you, right? When we think about, well, I don't have time for that. That could be one of the main things that is said. I don't have time for that. Or I don't have money to play. But there are some free ways to play. I think about my mom loves to play dominoes and cards, and she's teaching my children how to play dominoes.
Oh, nice.
Right? So she's passing down the Black tradition.
Yeah.
But it's so cool to see like them catch on to it, and learning how to play Uno. Like, that's free after you buy the game, right? But it's free to play. It's free to invite somebody else into playing with you.
Yeah.
So thinking about, play can be free. Taking a walk is free.
Yeah.
Walking around the mall, you don't have to buy nothing. Just walk, right?
Just walk.
Just walk.
Put on some music and dance around your space for 5 minutes.
Right.
It's accessible.
Yes, play is accessible, and breaking down the limitations that sometimes we put on ourselves. Like, the only time I play is when I go to vacation and I'm sitting by a body of water in another country, or I'm going to this birthday party, or I'm trying this new restaurant. But there are so many other ways for play to be accessible. And so you, as a mindfulness and play facilitator now, like, helping children and adults usher in play, what are some free ways that people can do that?
What if someone experimented with having a staring contest with their partner or with their child? How many, like, we used to have staring contests
that's true.
all the time.
And who blinked first?
Yeah, and it creates this intimacy of just looking into someone's eyes. That is completely free. Discovering new forest preserves. It's so many beautiful forest preserves. What if you looked in your closet for just old things? Maybe you got an old pair of shoes and you start maybe painting the shoes, or an old pair of sneakers, painting them up how you want them, or cutting a shirt and redesigning. So just getting curious with yourself, like, what do I like? Maybe it's just a coloring book.
Yeah. Or maybe I have some ingredients in my kitchen that I haven't used, and I can create a new dish.
Maybe I can mix up some spices and see, like, make my own little spice or something.
Yeah.
Play is that simple. It's as simple as, I will say it's simple, but it's not easy because it requires us to slow down, which I think is hard, especially as you talked about with all of those layered responsibilities. I think especially women, we are great at showing up for everyone else.
Definitely.
The kids, the friends, the boss, caretaking, all the things. Play is that invitation to slow down and show up for myself. Like, I want to put some spices together. Let me see what this and this is going, and spend some time with myself, where I want to see how this new makeup looks, or design my hair in a different style. Yeah, so it's play is an invitation to, like, just invest in me. Yeah. And when I start investing in me, you know what, everybody else, y'all gotta hop on board and start, investing in me too.
That's so good. I'm glad you segued us to investing in me. When you start to invest in yourself, what did that look like for you? Like, what was your first? Well, the first step was the class, right, and doing the explorations. But what else did investment look like for you as you were transitioning from, it sounded like, a grind hustle era of your life to, okay, what does play mean?
Well, I spoke about this early, but investing in me, a big part of it was, what am I eating? What am I putting in my mouth? So I let go of the alcohol because it was leading to destructive patterns, and It was also contributing to anxiety and depression, investing in myself with food. Like, if I'm feeding myself junk, I'm gonna feel like junk. Getting serious about my sleep ritual. That was so important. And again, all of these things I know is so much easier said than done. Even if, another good one. I couldn't afford to vacation, so I made it a thing to like start exploring Chicago. Like I would just go out, pick a neighborhood, I'm gonna go and walk around and be curious about the world around me. I've been investing in a lot of relationships. That's another way, like slowing down so that I can like connect with people.
Which is free. Calling someone is free. Because you're already paying the phone bill, so.
Yup. Exactly. One of my favorite playtimes now, I FaceTime my friend and we scroll Hinge together, which is a dating app. And we talk about, what you think about him? And what so that is fairly accessible, yeah.
And it's investing in your social capital, right? Yeah. And something that will hopefully last you a lifetime, which is friendship and relationship.
Yep. When I was on the go and just moving really, really fast and doing all the hustling and the grinding, there was no space really to connect with people. And when I found those quiet moments every so often, it felt lonely. Like relationships are so deeply fulfilling.
Oh, yes.
And relationships can be that, what's the word I want? It can be that thing that you need to make play accessible. So say you got relationships, it's like, hey girl, can you watch my kids so that I can go take this salsa class? Right. It becomes the support. Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. In addition to, or can you join me, right? Can you join me in making this craft? I have a friend that's very creative and loves to make things and would get raw materials or paint dressers. And so you get invited to play in your relationships. Like, oh, let's go for a walk and pick up leaves, right? Like, kids always picking up flowers and leaves. They're like, look at this. Or just
they're always being curious.
Always fascinated, right? So it's engaging in that fascination and that curiosity with what's happening around us.
Yes.
Going in Bath and Body Works, I took my daughter into Bath and Body Works last weekend to just sniff. Like,
that's beautiful.
All the lotions and sprayed the sprays on the little sheet of paper. I was like, ooh, you like this? This one is good. And it smelled like cinnamon. It sure do. Like, just
engaging the senses. And that is so much a part of mindfulness, is like just engaging the senses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what would you say to your, how many years ago? Maybe 14, 15 years ago self about play
what would
and
I say to
mindfulness?
her? I would give her a hug. I would tell her it's okay to slow down. I would tell her you are naturally a playful person. You were put on this earth to embody that. And that's one of your superpowers. So, I would tell her, look at life as a playground. It's all an experiment. So just find play in whatever you can. just go through life and like try to play, like flirt with life a little bit. I was thinking about how, you know, in the school system, not just in the school system, but the messages we receive, how sometimes students are punished for playing, or punished for like connecting with each other in class, or there's always this you have to work, you got to earn the play. It's like you do the work and then you play. You have to earn it. And just like what that, like maybe it's beneficial in some cases, but there's a flip side of the coin where it kind of,
it transitions into adulthood.
Exactly. And then play becomes less and less important, and we are these kids in human bodies not playing at all. And being like a shell of ourselves. So I would tell her, just, we can lighten up, we can slow down, and you can find something to have fun with. It's gonna be okay. I need to tell myself that now sometimes too. Slow down. Just take 5 minutes today to do something fun. That's all it takes. It doesn't have to be grandiose to be meaningful. Just 5 minutes and do something fun.
5 minutes and do something fun. So what is that 5 minutes going to look like for you today as we wrap up our time together?
Yes. You know what? I was thinking about that. Like, what am I going to do after the podcast? And I think I would like to go, there's a store in Hyde Park, the Silver Room. And I just want to go around and browse because it's like Black-owned, BIPOC-owned art. So I think that's what I want to do. Just look around.
I like that. Just look around.
Yes.
Engage the senses.
Or I might wave at a stranger or something.
Yes, connection. Connection and smile. Oh, Kimberly, thank you so much for bringing play into the space, into the conversation, as we are constantly going from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. But how many of us pause regularly, daily, to say, have I played today? Have I felt joy today? And not just because the holiday season is approaching us, right? Which can bring about a sense, an overlay of joy. But how can I have this daily? Right? So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you for identifying why you were created, right? And not putting that on the back burner. Because you feel like you have to be somebody else or something else.
Gotta be a serious adult.
But if that's not you, that's not you. That's your gift to the world.
You're right.
So thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciated this conversation.
My pleasure. All right, y'all. Play. Go outside while the weather's still nice. Rake some leaves. Play in the path.
Toss them up, roll around.
Laugh at a TikTok. Do something that brings play into your life. So thank you for tuning in and joining us today.